Alright, we are ready to go. Make sure I got everything set up on the back end. I think it's all good on my end. Let's see here. We're going to pull up Elven Corruptions. And as I stated, we're going to be doing Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. We're specifically doing Twin Snakes because it's on the GameCube. And I didn't have as much luck corrupting really any PS1 ROMs. Still corruptible, but the memory domains that we're allowed to mess with are very limited by default, and I don't want to spend the time to create my own custom domains. With that being said, we do have Twin Snakes available on the GameCube, so we'll be able to corrupt this instead. And I want to make sure Dolphin's working, so I'm going to set that up real quick. There we go, working alright. And something that Twin Snakes lacks. Ooh, that's a little loud. Let me turn that down. There we go, a little bit better. Pause there. Something that Twin Snakes lacks is the old Konami intro. Which I love, so I wanted to play that for a second. But we are nearly ready to corrupt. What's up with my aspect ratio? I think that's because there's going to be subtitles. We're going to be ready to create a save state. I think I want to do it within the submarine to start off with, and then we're also going to do the helicopter, and maybe a little gameplay as well. Alright, so I'll get ready with save state inside the submarine here. Also, I have no clue what that flashing is from. Let me try switching graphics engines here. Just a heads up, if you are sensitive to flashing lights, loud sounds, anything of that nature, I do not recommend watching the stream. We're going to have a lot of flashing lights and things of that nature throughout this entire stream, so forewarning for that. Ooh, are we going to be able to stream this? Let's see. I may have trouble with the graphic renderer that I'm using. Let's see. Might just be the intro cinematic, so I might skip forward. That's inevitable. Okay, let me skip the cutscene. Like, turns out I can't stream it. Switch to Kirby Dreamland, which I have queued up for the next stream. Yeah, no, that's not gonna stop, is it? Shoot, another cinematic. Can we skip out of that? We could just do gameplay, which is not as interesting. Usually the cinematics are the fun part of that.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Oh, alright. Didn't mean to do that either. Here. Yeah, that's not gonna run fantastic on the other engine that I'm using. So you know what? We're gonna swap. Sorry to do that. It was working fine before stream, but as soon as you start recording it, changes how it records in OBS. It doesn't like dolphins and that. So we're gonna switch to Dreamland. Let me grab that. Might rip real quick. Kirby's Dreamland 3. Oh, I should play music, my bad. Let's do some Animal Crossing. That's all working. Go and swap scenes here. I'm gonna set up the window for just a sec. Is this a little too far stretched? I don't like black doors. Besides. That's way too stretched. Shoot. Let's do it like that. Alright. We're almost there. Open up the glitch harvester. Alright, here we go. Sorry about the wait on that. Thank you for everyone who has patience on this. We're ready to go. Let me cut Animal Crossing here. And we'll start the animation. So, this is the real-time corruption setup, as opposed to the GameCube setup that I had before this. And with the real-time corruptor setup, you'll see a lot more windows off to the right, and I'll explain what those are as we go along. Okay, make a safe state room when we start up. Hey, Baby Blue Ford, how you doing? We got a safe state there. And we're ready to go. I'm getting a little bit of latency. Let's see. Mario Maker. You know, I've never actually played Mario Maker. I've seen plenty of levels though, and it always looks like a lot of fun, but I never actually got to play it myself. Alright, and we're gonna do some quick prototyping here. So, in this window, you see the memory domains that are available to us. Let me pause that. And there's a little bit of latency in the emulation, so I'm not happy about that. But we'll try our best. We see our memory domains here, which usually we don't get to mess with those memory domains. I'm having my first go at a puzzle level. Ooh, good luck. Puzzle levels are fun. Hopefully you get lots of solves. I think you have to beat it yourself before you can publish it, which I always like that idea. Because then you don't get a bunch of junk levels that you can't play regardless. Anyway, so we don't see memory domains that are automatically generated for us within the Windows glitch harvester when we do GameCube corruptions. Instead, with the real-time corruptor, we have a couple of predefined memory domains that are available for each different system, every type of emulator. And we have automatically selected ones, so WRAM, CartRAM, DRAM, and OAM, which are all quote-unquote safe memory domains to mess with. So we're going to start with messing with those, and then we may move on to CGRAM, APRAM, and these other ones. The difference between safe and unsafe is just specifically the rewind safe. So if I start the emulation here, you see Kirby moves around a little bit. No problems there. And if I need to, I can rewind the emulation. If something bad happens, or if I want to redo an emulation, I can rewind it. And all these memory domains that are being listed in here are rewind safes. That means there will not be any problems if I rewind. However, these other ones like CartRAM and the other ones listed down here will not be rewind safe. So next I'm going to just select one of these. We're going to mess with OAM, which is that bottom one there. And while you can't see it, I'm going to manually blast the ROM while it's running to see if I notice anything going on with the ROM. And not seeing anything right now, so I'm going to increase the intensity. Nothing with that. Let's try a different memory domain. We're going to try VRAM. And we see something almost immediately with VRAM. So what that tells me is VRAM is definitely a possible memory domain we can mess with. However, I usually steer clear away from VRAM if possible, because what you see on screen is a bunch of just nothing. A bunch of cloud vomit is what I call it. Because if you keep blasting the ROM and unpause it, eventually the ROM itself will just be illegible. You won't notice what's going on at all. And that's fun sometimes, and it looks neat. You don't always want to mess with the VRAM because you want to see what's going on with the mechanics underneath the game. You want to see what's going on with how Kirby acts, how the enemies act, stuff like that. So we're going to leave VRAM untouched. You know, OEM doesn't actually do anything within this context. So that leaves us with, let's see, WRAM. WRAM usually are the mechanics of the game. That's going to be the fun one to mess with. We're going to load our safe state here. And try messing with WRAM a little bit. We do have a crash there. I'm going to keep an eye on the clouds to see if I crash. If they stop moving, I know I have. We've seen some visual bugs, but not as bad as the VRAM ones. And this one, even though we did crash, Kirby got extremely small. That was another crash. I got stuck in the ground a little bit. All of the time, Kirby is a little tricky to corrupt, but if we're persistent, you can definitely get some good ones. In fact, let me see here. I'm going to real quick see. I should have an original how is this even playable? It has, I think it's just messing with the palette in the background, so the game itself doesn't have any effects, but the colors are all kind of quirks and whatnot. We can keep corrupting a little bit further to see if it doesn't crash. It crashed there, so sometimes we do run into that. If we're lucky, we get some amazing effect like that going on. So I reboot the core here. We're going to move on to the Windows Glitch Harvester, which is this window here, and this window here, the stash history. And what we're going to do is we're going to harvest our corruptions. Pause here, sorry. We're going to harvest our corruptions. And the reason why we do that is because we create a nice stockpile of all the corruptions that we really enjoy, ones that look interesting, ones that have cool mechanics. We create a large pile of them, and at the end of the stream I usually upload that pile, so if you want to download it yourself, play them, reroll them, whatever you want with them, you can feel free. So we have our save state still here, so I can just load that save state. And now I'm going to start blasting the emulator with corruption. We're going to do a little bit higher of an intensity. When I hit this blast button, it's going to create a save state and throw that onto the stash history. See it here. And then we see if there are any corruptions that are currently on the screen. I'm not noticing anything right away. A little bit of latency. I might swap to Kirby Dream Land 1. Just because the background clouds are bothering me. Some minor corruptions here, so we can try even a higher intensity corruption. See if anything happens there. Oh, it's a crash, so we can try it again. This one has some music corruption, if you can hear it. Just some visuals. Let me real quick see. I should have a rip of the original Kirby Dream Land. That one corrupts a little bit better. It'd be easier one to give a demonstration for. So let me real quick. The setup's the same for both. I just would prefer the original. So let me pull up some music one more time. And let me grab one more of my rips. A bit of searching. I have a lot of rips. Kirby's Dream Land. Okay, nearly there. I need to grab my BIOS as well. We're good to go. Okay, cool. Sorry about the wait on that, and thank you all for your patience. So we have the original Game Boy. And let me shush Animal Crossing. Okay. On the screen, I'm going to start off with the intro screen. We're going to corrupt this. We're going to create a quick save state. We need the real-time glitch harvester up. There we go. Okay. We're going to create a save state here. Load that save state. You see it keeps repeating the same thing over and over again. Clear stash history. Once again, we're going to check the memory domains we have to mess with. We have OEM, DRAM, and VRAM in this case. We can also mess with hardware RAM or ROM. So let's try OEM, which should be the sprites of the game. And you see how there's a little bit of flicker every time we manually blast the corruption? That means that these are affecting the sprites in the game, however they're not permanent corruptions. In order to make them permanent, we can try switching our engine. Right here we have the Nightmare engine, which just sets data. The game was made before my... Oh, I know, same here. I'm pretty young. 20, and this came out, yeah, 92. This was 6 years before I was born. So we've swapped from the Nightmare engine to the Hell Genie engine, and Hell Genie engine works similar to Cheat engine, but sets permanent values. And now if we manually blast the corruption, you'll see that we have some permanent corruptions on screen where some of these sprites are permanently messed up. We can do that a couple times. We have a little bit of fire Kirby going on. Some ROMs are getting messed up here and there. So that's what we can do with the OEM field, mostly just the sprites on the screen. We will reset here. Once again, we can mess with the VRAM. That's going to be the visuals on screen. And these usually have a large effect, however it doesn't mess with the actual mechanics of the game. So we can just do a bunch here. It just starts looking messed up. Yeah. Just VRAM, which we won't be messing with too much. Lastly, we can mess with VRAM, this last one here, which will be, once again, the mechanics of the game. And we might not see anything on the title screen, or we may. Actually, yeah, we do. A little bit. We have the whole alphabet there. Or part of it, at least. Alright, so with this, we're going to start harvesting some glitches. We're going to do a fresh save here. And now when we blast the emulator, create a save state. If we find a save state we really like, we can throw it onto the stockpile. So we'll try a little bit until we find one of those. We're still using the Hell Genie engine. I'm going to switch back to the Nightmare engine and bring our intensity down a bit. That was too much intensity. We're going to go way down. Way down. How about like 50? There we go. A little bit of music corruption going on there. Okay, so this one we actually just straight up changed the music. That's neat. I like this as the first one, so let's save this one. In order to save it, first we want to do something called sanitize our corruptions. In order to sanitize our corruptions, we'll select the save state here and open it in the blast editor. The blast editor shows us a visual of exactly what's going on when we send this corruption to memory. It will show all these source addresses right here, source addresses, all the way down for every corruption that we put onto this blast layer. And it says the parameter that we send to memory for this corruption to happen. So, for example, this random one, let's just say we set WRAM at the source address 1FC8, which is just a hexadecimal source address, set the value of 0. Whether that does something or doesn't do anything, it's yet to be determined. What we want to do is we want to sanitize the corruption by removing the excess fat of this corruption. So, you see what I mean? We're going to randomly disable half the corruption here. I've been doing this for about a month, so I've been trying to get good at explaining things to the audience because it helps me get better and better at explaining it. Still learning though here and there. So if I disable half these corruptions here and reload the save state, you notice that the music is still changed, and that's good. So what we want to do is now we want to remove the ones that we disabled because they're unnecessary. They're memory writes that we don't actually need. And we're going to try it again. Randomly disable half of them. See if the corruption that we're looking for persists. In this case, the music's back to normal, and we don't want that. What we want is the other half. Since we only disabled half of them, we can try switching our half. Set to the other half of that. In this case, we do have that music corruption, which is exactly what we want. Remove the disabled ones. We continue in this fashion until we only have like 1 or 2 memory writes. Right now we have 50, as you can see up here. So I'm just going to keep inverting and disabling until we get just 1 or 2 memory writes. Not 3, not 2, and 1. So now we know a little bit more about this ROM, because specifically we know that if you change the value at 13df to the parameter ad, you create a different song at that memory address, or you create a different song that the player hears when they start up the menu. So what we're going to do now is we're going to send this to our stash. There's now a new save state right here at the bottom. It has our edited class layer in it. We can throw that onto the stockpile and call this new music intro. I actually tried to do clever names for some of mine, but I can't think of a clever one for this. I'm going back to the beginning. Now what we can do from here is, let me pull up the last layer again. At this 13df address, send the value AD. We can change what we send to that address to see if we get different results from it. Maybe AD is a song that's in memory, and we can change what that song is. Let's try AF instead. Still the same song. Let's try 00. That's actually the normal song, so that makes sense. We're right back to normal. How about it's just the value 16 in X. Yeah. This can take a while where I go through and I manually change the parameter value and check if it worked. That can be a lot of work. So instead what we can do is X out of this. We can do what's called re-rolling the corruption. I don't have a button for that available, but or not on the screen available, but I'll do it in the background. I'm going to re-roll that source address, and I'll just randomly write different values to that source address. The value will change, I should say. We're not noticing too much of a difference. It's mostly the same song. So we'll move on from here. And I want to see some mechanical corruption, so let's actually start up the game. Okay, another save state when we start up. In Green Hills. Right here. So from here, I'm going to continue in the same fashion. Just go ahead and blast and send a corruption. So Kirby was invisible to start off with, and there's a little pivot here. Otherwise, it's not too out of the ordinary. Try that again. I had an interesting start, pulled itself off. This one, the audio's, it might not be easy to hear, but the audio is just in the right ear. Part of the audio is in the right ear. This one has no audio. It's a very quiet one. And the score's maxed out. That sounds like boss music, actually. Very quiet boss music. Alright, we'll try that again. Ooh, I like that. Let me turn that up a little bit. I like an instrumental version, where the instrument is just like a triangle wave. Okay, I kind of like that. Let's throw that in the blast editor. Just as another example of sanitizing a corruption. There's a secondary corruption you can hear there. We don't want that, we want the other one. This one. We're going to sanitize that. There we go. We have a single source address, single memory right. Send that to the stash. We'll call this, oh, the music can come back up. That's loud. Okay, let me turn that down a little bit. Instrumental song. And we'll try re-rolling that. I kinda like the differences in the instruments, I guess? Alright, so kinda neat. We'll move on. Some more bus layer options. Fun. Let me reload that. I imagine we're gonna get a lot of sound ones since the mechanics of the game and the sound are all stored in WRAM. We'll get some interesting sounding ones for sure. The sound is stuck in a box. Oh, I know, right? God, I couldn't believe it. My roommate got a virtual ticket and I saw it and they had all the lead up. I didn't see that they had mobile announcement before the cinematic trailer, and I saw the cinematic trailer and I was so excited. I was like, I can't believe this looks great, and it's leading off the story of the third one. And then I saw available on Google Play Store and Apple Store, and I was like, oh, you're joking. I was happy though. I play WoW and I played the original Warcraft and a couple of the other Warcraft games, so I'm excited about those. BFA cinematic was interesting. The Overwatch hero, if you're into that. This one, Kurt looks invincible, I think. Oh no. He's just flashing. Yeah, same here. Disgustingly overjoyed is a good way to put that. Alright, let's try messing with the sprites. So we're going to select OAM and use the Hell Genie engine. And the Hell Genie engine is limited by the amount of max cheats that we enable, so we're going to bring this up to 200. It's a little odd. So this one we're one-up mushroom and a mushroom. One-up item and a peach? Apple? I like that. And we're also an abomination. This one we're half Kirby. The true horror, look at this, you like suck in enemies and stuff. That's the air. Other sprites. I'm sorry, is that us? It was us. Oh, I want one where the enemies are all us. That'd be amazing. Alright. Let's try. Is that the Hell Genie engine? Source engine? I don't think this would have an effect, but it doesn't. Lots of crashes there. Let's bring the max freezes down to 150. This is the freeze engine, which will take a specific memory address, and it will freeze the data that's at that memory address and prevent it from changing. So, sometimes we get interesting effects, and a lot of the time we crash. Let's bring that way down. How about like 50? Oh, wait, that had an interesting effect. Let me go back. Alright. That's not bad. Okay. So this one, he's speedy. However, it crashes after a couple of seconds. We can preserve the corruption by opening in the blast editor and trying to see if we can preserve the speed buff. Let's do that. We're going to randomly disable half these corruptions. Oh, the intro screen. I was wondering what was going on there. Let me do that again. What's wrong with his leg? You can't move right. Oh, this one's great too. He's limping. I kind of want to save this as is. Let's see if we can preserve this corruption. Right, nearly there. We got 3 left. There we go. One single source address. And we can't mess with the parameter values in this case because it's just a freeze type effect on that memory address, not allowing it to change. So, regardless. I'm gonna send it to the stash. I'll call this Kirby's Gauntlet. Great. From there, we'll create some new corruptions. Very crash heavy with the freeze engine. So what happened to Kirby's face? Oh, he just kind of jumped into the sky. Crashes. Alright, let's knock down the freeze engine even more. Down to 30, I guess. Intensity doesn't matter for this, but I'm going to adjust it just in case. we didn't mess with HRAM. Let's just mess with HRAM a little bit. It should be hardware RAM. I will load a fresh save state. Oh, that's probably why we're crashing so much. Hardware RAM. You only do very small values on hardware RAM. Let's knock it down like 10. We're gonna manually blast it and see what it does. Yeah, that's a good effect. Okay. So not only are you forced to move right all the time, you can't move left. Also can't see your sprite moving. Continue in this fashion. We just gotta go fast. No. Every once in a while I have to freeze up for a sec, just if I have to control stuff in the background. I want to keep this one. Let's open that in the stash history. I think I've only ever saved crashed the stream once, and that was when I was trying to save a Dwarf Fortress state after one season. And unfortunately, I also lost my save on that one, so can't do that while I'm in college while I have a laptop. I have to do it when I'm back home and I have a nice desktop. Okay, here we go. We have a single right to memory, right on the stash. And we'll throw it on the stockpile and call it. Me has to go fast. What do I do here? Also, you should be able to do that. Let's also throw that in the notes, so if you write a corruption stockpile, you're allowed to throw notes on it. And the notes we'll put, Kirby also has, at the fire ability? I don't remember. Kirby also has an ability, despite, not actually having one. It's good enough now. Let's try rerolling with the corruption. And nothing's really changed on that one. So we will start some fresh corruptions. Oh, you start with something in your mouth? Which is interesting. And as soon as you get rid of it, you can't suck up anything else. So you also can't jump. You're a pacifist for the rest of the game. Alright. Huh. So I can infinitely hit A to fly. Float, I should say. I can't suck up enemies or get rid of what's in my mouth. Yeah, let's keep that too. Why not? There we go, we have our single right. Put it on the stash, throw it on memory, and call it Kirby ate too much. Okay. Keep on blasting. Not too much else with hardware RAM. I think we can swap. Let's do some more WRAM. No more WRAM. And try to held Genie within the WRAM. I guess we didn't try freezing. Try freezing HRAM. HRAM. Try held Genie. I don't think I'll have any different effect in the Nightmare engine. About the same. Let's try Distortion Engine. Distortion Engine will take a quick, say you take a random source address, you make a backup of it, and after distortion delay, which is 50 here, after 50 iterations, it will return that value of the previous amount back to its state, which is I've only really found useful for auto corrupting, not for live corruptions like this. I don't believe it works too well with the Glitch Harvester. Because I haven't found the perfect way for it to work with the Glitch Harvester. Instead, I can do auto corruption like this. And when it doesn't crash, it has interesting effects. It's going to be crashing here though, I think. Yeah. Alright, so we will ignore that, and we will try the pipe engine, which will take values from a specific source address and pipe it to another source address. In this case, we can't jump. We just kind of vibrate. I like that effect, so we're going to open that in the Blast Editor and save that. Key for us, we're not using very high intensities, so it doesn't take too long to sanitize the corruptions. Unless we can't preserve that effect, which we might not be able to here. There we go. So he's falling indefinitely. I think I need to keep all of these corruptions on here for it to work. I can try manually disabling some of these, disabling some of these. So we can only knock out 2 of them, which is alright, we got 3. Send that to the stash, and we'll call this, I don't know, Mars Gravity. Because Mars has more gravity than us, right? Smaller planet, but it's, I gotta check now. Gravity on Mars is 3.7 meters per second, which is less than Earth's. We have 9.8. So we can't name it that, we'll call it Jupiter gravity. Jupiter gravity. And we'll try re-rolling. I don't think we're gonna have too many interesting results with the re-roll, because we need all 3 of those source addresses in order to get this right. So we'll do a new corruption. Especially the non-solid nature. It's a very good point. What is another planet that has solid surface that also experiences high levels of gravity? Also, what planets are in the solar system? I don't know all my 8 planets. Ooh, that was a good one. Did it really? I didn't know that. That's also extremely sad because of how much money it must have taken just to set up probe there to begin with. Hopefully they got some data off it though. One important data point being you can't send any more probes, otherwise it will get destroyed as well. Alright, we are using pipe engine. Oh, I finished suspension, that makes sense. Okay. Alright, we're going to use a Nightmare engine with WRAM again, which we did before. We're going to switch the blast type from random values, so right now, write like a random hexadecimal value to randomly selected source address. We're going to switch that to tilt, which it is here, which will only increment or decrement the values that are already at those source addresses, which I usually find works better in terms of interesting corruptions, because it's not changing that value to be something completely wacky. It's only increment it by 1 or 2. Incrementing it, or incrementing it by 1. Anyway, let's see if that works. Some invisible bricks. Try higher values, since this is usually a little bit more safer to corrupt with. We'll bring it up to 2000. Yeah! Good start. It kind of falls off to the right. Let's give that another go. Shoot, on the first level, a hard game. Can we fly? We can. Yeah, that's the sound I was looking for. Let's throw this on, I think. Let's save this. I'm not even going to sanitize it because all the chaos combined kind of adds to the effect. We'll call this Kirby's Real Nightmare. Okay. We will try rerolling that corruption. Lots of little electrical noises. Oh yeah, first, ask Kirby again. It's too bad there's too many invisible walls, can't actually run. Supposed to be a door here. Made it to the end. Good score, right? All maxed out. Or it was like all 9s and then a 0, so almost maxed out. This is something cool, the soundtrack. It's trying to get there. It's really trying to produce that original soundtrack. Right, Kirby? Reload that one. Just kinda jumped out of the scene, and then he was gone. Actually, that sounded neat. Go back to that one. Like a futuristic vibe to it. Yeah, I want to save this one too. Future Kirby. Oh, a note that it's a music corruption. Usually if I have multiple music corruptions, I'll note that. So Kirby's Real Nightmare was also kind of a music corruption. I'm going to note that as well. There we go. That was only... we had one. There we go. Right. I'm going to do another save state in a new zone, so let's continue in the normal fashion until we get to another place. Actually, if we can mess with the star's flight path, I would be very happy, so I'm going to make a save state when we jump on this guy. I might do a second later. Yeah, good enough for me. Alright, let's start asking that. Maybe not with 2,000 though, we'll do 1,000. That's actually kind of exactly what I wanted. It just doesn't go there at all. There's a doorway here that I can actually interact with. Interacting with it just crashes at the game. That's pretty neat. what's with that little Kirby ghost going off me? Oh, that sounds awful. Is it sorry? I hope so. That's what I'm aiming for. Especially if you had like a childhood game that you like playing. I'd corrupt it. You play it in a way you never imagined you would play before. Ah, that sounds terrible. Yeah, never before seen way. Alright, let's try corrupting the boss. So we're gonna do a normal load here. Ready, save state, fades, flip back. Right there. Let's do some hardware ramp corruptions, which might mess with the guy's animation. Not at 1,000, we'll do 20. There are tilt hardware corruptions. Let's switch it to random, which usually has a better result with this. Or it may be too high, so let's bring it down to 10. Alright, nothing much there. Let's try messing with OEM. The object files of the game. Bring that up to 200, and we're gonna try tilt for this. Let's try 2000. How much? Alright. Not tilt, just random. Oh, we're not using Helm Genie. That's what's going on. Effects we're using aren't staying. So we're using Helm Genie, max cheat set to 200. There we go. Something I'd like to aim for when I mess with OEM is to see something that I actually want to reproduce, like a boss to look a certain way or Kirby to look a certain way. It's tricky to get that when you're just using randomness in this case. It's something you want to go back and just manually edit it yourself. If you're doing like a ROM hack, for example, maybe. Or you're just studying how the game's laid out. Try the freeze engine on VRAM. His bombs become laughing versions of him if you suck them up. And that's it, they just become his laughing head. You can never win this. True taunt. Alright, I like that. Let's put that in the stockpile. Call it boss taunting bombs. There he goes, never to come back again. Wait, I become two Kirbys. These are two different entities, and then you can bring them back together. Good. Can you bring them back together? But you can't. Okay, they're stuck more. Why am I throwing them up there? Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Force of the throw was so powerful that it knocked him off screen. Only to leave Kirby here to starve. Sorry, what? Was that face? The tree? What's that tree's name? So we float. Oh, that's just cursed. The music for it though. It is kind of like first sounding. We'll do that. Music. First boss fight. And I want to re-roll that. So we still float this one. We shouldn't jump. low, Bob. Sucking with realistic speed of the bomb traveling. Oh, let's soup with the bomb. And reroll that. I love it. Oh my god. I'm sorry, what? We throw ourselves? I don't know what happened. I think we became putty there. Wait, let's see. It's a very slippery ground, and if you run into the wall, you're stuck. So my chat window just kind of freaked out, don't it? I guess it just refreshed for a second there. I think that's my body, right? I'm running into? Okay, this has to be the most difficult enemy. You can't even get the bombs! Beware he who is immortal. Well said. God. We can't get rid of what's in his mouth. Look too, he just looks uncomfortable. Probably upping our freeze amount. The 500. Problem with that though is we have a little bit of latency, because every single iteration step it needs to rewrite the values at that memory address to the original value. I can make it run a little bit slower. Right, we have had a lot of fun with the freeze engine. Switch back to the pipe engine again. We'll bring the max pipes up to 200. It's like a whole different song. Oh, Kirby's vibrating very heavily in place. An anticlimactic ending. Oh man, what happened with the background? Yeah, that was cursed. What? Wait, he died! No! I died. You beat the boss, you crashed the game. I love it. I guess we didn't beat him, he still had a health bar left. Kinda dig that. So that was the stockpile. Beat the boss. Oh god. I guess it's just damage the boss, we don't even need to beat him. Damage boss. Oh god. Like a metal music, what would you call that? I kinda want to preserve, there's like a nice flashing effect, I want to see if I can preserve that for this one. Nah, it doesn't look yet. A very large hybrid of these corruptions together. It's kind of in itself, this is kind of neat though. I want to throw it on the stockpile though. Oh! It works if you're up here. Oh no, we're done. Alright, let us move past this point. I'm gonna beat the boss real quick. Another... Well, this is supposed to be the same area as the first. Let's continue to the end. And I'm ready with a save state. Save. Now we got a fresh one. Actually, I don't want the air mount though. Let's remove this. That's good enough. We'll just do it like that. Created the same fashion, type engine, we're gonna switch up to the nightmare engine. Let it go for a little bit. Winsby Woods? No, I forget what's his name. Anyways, he looks very nervous. His nose is in the wrong place, that's neat. Yeah, I just like how that's color, it looks like it's nighttime. Very neat. It's looking at Kirby. Shaking. Like that. Throw that on stockpile, I'll call it Night in the Woods. So wood, right? Yeah, I did. So reroll that last one and see if we can preserve anything or get another effect out of it. That looks like the same. Ice traveling in one direction and coloration changes. let's try swapping over to the LGD. I'll produce the same results, so we're not worried about LGD. Try distortion. Give that a go. I'm not sure if that'll actually have any effects. Sometimes it does. A little bit of music. I'm trying to see if there's any results if we grab system bus or the ROM itself. I'm not seeing anything. That though. But we can't already cheat with like WRAM or RAM corruptions. So let's swap back. I'm gonna do a little OAM. Not with freeze engine though. Oh, I just realized we were doing ROM and system bus in the freeze engine. What I don't want to do. Let's try it with LG. I know, I love when they float forward or float backwards. This one had that. There it goes. Yeah, and you can't even fight the normal tree when his eyes goes away. Like this. Kirby's just lost and he's just throwing apples in the air for no reason. Huh. That's not right. Who's this? An enemy? Oh, it is! Look at that! Looks like DDD. DDD was on his face for some reason. Okay, that's kinda neat. I like the coloration of this. It's in death though. It's too bad. Kirby's endless taste for apples. Anyways, those are ROM corruptions, which as you can see, a little more finicky. So I don't mess with that domain a lot, but sometimes get some interesting results out of it. We're going to do a save state here. That'll be a fresh one here. We have the Nightmare engine, put it on random. Mess with WRAM. Bring the intensity up to 500. And start corrupting. Let's try. Let's go and try. We messed with mostly everything, I think. Hardware RAM system bus. We messed with all the memory domains, and we've done just about all the engines on all of them. You know, I think we might leave it here. We'll quickly do a rundown of all the corruptions we created this evening, and then we'll call it for the evening. So starting off at the top, we have the first corruption of the evening, where we switched the music that was currently being played on the emulation. You can hear a new song with the intro there. We had an instrumental song, which just lacked the. It sounds like the background instruments. It just has the triangle wave or the waves in the front. I'm not sure the actual which one's being used with the Game Boy, but it's one wave. I like the sound of it. We have Kirby's Gone Limp. You see half of Kirby is gone limp. We have Kirby has to go fast. And I put a note on this one, I actually forgot what the note was. Kirby also has ability without actually having one, that's right. You get X, he has the fire ability. And he just has to go fast. Gotta run. Kirby wants to be part of the Sonic series. Then we have Kirby ate too much. He is permanently stuck in this form. And he can actually float, which is interesting. But he has very slow movement speed, so if I speed it up here, that's all he can do. Then we have Jupiter's Gravity, where Kirby is forced to stay on the ground. We have a couple of music corruptions, starting with Kirby's Real Nightmare, which be able to stay around for long enough. Got some interesting sounds going on in the background. And Future Kirby. Had what I thought sounded like a Future Wave kind of sound to it. I dig it. Little beeps and movements. We have boss taunting bombs, where if you try to suck up the bomb, just show his face taunting you. And won't really actually suck up the bomb. It's boss and evil in that case. We have Cursed Boss Fight, where the tree's face comes out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know what's going on in this one. You have Suck Bomb, where you try to suck up the bomb, but the bomb actually has weight, so it takes forever to actually suck it up. And maybe before how you do it. And then we have Damage the Boss, where if you damage the boss even once... Actually, that didn't work, did it? If you damage the boss the first time around, crash the game. I guess I got a note. A problem up with the first bomb, I guess. Blow up with the first bomb is what I'm going to put in the notes there. And then I think that's... What was the last one? Our last one of the evening was Night in the Woods. Oops, I paused it here. And it just had a nice aesthetic to it. I love shadow corruptions. This has sort of some shading to it, or some shadow coloration, which I dig. And I will leave you guys with that one. Let me go ahead and pull up someone to host. And I guess I should do music too. Let me do some. Pause this. And what kind of music are we thinking tonight? About some Pokemon music. The battle music your way. I know, it's decent. Anyways, thank you for those of whom could stop by today. A lot of people stopped by. Hope you enjoyed if this is your first experience seeing corruptions. We had a little bit of a shaky start. We were trying to do Metal Gear Solid. Fortunately, there was a graphic bug going on with Dolphin I gotta figure out. It might just be the version of Dolphin I'm using a modified version. Anyway, I preferred to do the Game Boy Color of Dreamland because Dreamland 3 for the SNES doesn't work fantastic on my PC. And yeah, in the final result, I mean, we had a pretty decent stockpile. And that stockpile will be available on YouTube a couple days after this has been uploaded, once I get around to uploading them. All the previous ones that have stockpiles, all the previous corruption videos do have the stockpiles that are uploaded. Feel free to check those out if you want to play those corruptions, or reroll them, or do anything you want with them. Yeah, thank you for everyone who was able to watch, and let's find someone to host here. I always take a sec to host because before I host I usually end up watching for about half an hour to an hour, so I gotta watch something that I also am interested in watching. But it is very interesting, but you gotta be in a mood to watch a certain game. If there's any Dwarf Fortress streamers, always love hosting those guys, and gals. Too many guys. All right. I got someone here. Thanks again, everyone who was able to stop by, and I will see you in the next one.